welcome back to reading every Marvel comic. I'm not sound as enthused because last time we read Base Burner number 1, and before that we read Fantastic Four number 12, both which are fantastic issues. But this time we're going back to Larry Lieber's writing. Now, in case you didn't know how these stories work, is that Stanley plot, he's like, oh, here's the plot, which that's all he said. Larry would write out the entire thing, and then Jack Kirby would illustrate what he was written down. And that's why these are a lot worse than the Stanley written, because that basically was the same thing. Stanley gave the plot. This time they gave it to the artist, Jack Kirby, who's a lot more talented than Larry Lieber at coming up with stories. So Jack Kirby gave this awesome layout. Then Stanley would write more realistic dialogue, more like relatable dialogue, and then we get an awesome Silver Age Marvel comic. But Larry Lieber, we get his shitty story based on a plot that could work. Some of these plots in his stories, they could work, but his writing style is so shitty. And unfortunately, we get that. This story doesn't look very interesting. It's got not much to say covered. Just Thor, which we've seen before. He's like, yeah, I'm Thor. I'm just not into this. After reading the other comics we read previously, I'm just not into this stuff. Sorry, Larry Lieber, you suck. But here we go. This is starring the Mighty Thor, the most colorful superhero of all. It's the heroic Thunder God, battle the forces of evil. The Mighty Thor, the Thunder God, and the Thug. That sounds very interesting. What happens when, aided by Gons and Goons, a mortal gangster dares to defy a Thunder God? Our story opens with a mighty god of thunder striking through the sky after the completion of his most recent adventure. It is time for me to return to my office and once again to assume the role of Don Blake, Doctor of Medicine. And the newspaper said that the Thor flew away before the crowd could even thank him. What a guy! I should like to see him in person someday instead of just reading about him. Plots by Stanley, scripts by Larry Lieber, art Jack Kirby, inking by Dick Ayers, and lettering is by Ray Holloway. That's a fun name. Look, it's him, Thor. He flew right past us. Uh-oh, the pages in my waiting room have spotted me. If they had seen me enter the office, they might suspect that Thor and Don Blake are the same. Here's another one. He's so shitty at writing these uh secret disguises, like these alternate disguise stories. They're always so lame compared to the Stan Lee ones. Fantastic Four don't have secret identities. Spider-Man and Hulk do. Those actually make sense canonically. Those for those characters to not want to reveal the secret identity. Spider-Man's one of his villains to find out about him. Plus, his Aunt May's old and frail, and she probably wouldn't know about that her nephew might be a criminal because she thinks that Spider-Man is a criminal. So yeah, Spider-Man's not popular. Hulk, obviously, why don't keep that secret? But this like Thor, like why would you want to be a lame doctor? They really call him lame every issue. I'm sorry, but I'm getting tired of some of these issues that aren't that good. Like I want to go back to Hulk, Fantastic Four, and Spider-Man, but not to read these issues. At least the artwork's good. So they're trying to divert their attention. Hey, where'd he go? Oh, here's another one. We haven't seen something like this happen. We've seen this in every Fantastic Human Torch issue, haven't we? Where he does the same thing. Here's Thor doing the same fucking thing. Hey, we're gonna get this shit instead of any Northology stuff, aren't we? Since nobody in the mega shop at this hour, I'll just use some of the material and pay them for it later. There, it's finished. A somewhat crude imitation of me. I'll be moving so fast no one will be able to tell it isn't the real Thor. Leaving W so was weightless, the mighty Thunder God hurled it through the window. Hey, it's Thor again! He's flying away! That dummy will come down over the open sea where it won't injure anyone. That was very important for him to do. It's so convenient there's a mannequin thing right there. It's like it's just dumb. He's gonna probably press right to sea, which I doubt. I'm, I can't even get to the story because it's just like why? And while the unsuspecting patients watched the mannequin through one window, throw himself through another. Wow, look at him go! He's as fast as a rocket. In the privacy of his office, the mightiest figure to stride the earth reverts back to the form of the lame Dr. Don Blake. There it is. Sorry to keep you waiting, Jane. You can send in the first patient now. Yes, Doctor. But at this point, let's pause briefly and review the fantastic origin of Thor. I didn't mention them repeating the origin of Spider-Man in issue number 1 because it made sense. We haven't seen Spider-Man in a while. He only had one issue that of a canceled storyline, so maybe that cover comic wasn't as well known. And plus, that comic a little rare, so it makes Spider-Man 1 makes sense to recap it. It's the first issue after all. With this issue, we get a recap of Thor issue. I guess it's been a while, but at this point, is it necessary? There's not much to his origin, but we're gonna get to see it again. Unless it's different than the way it was shown in the original issue. For those of you who might have missed, the early issues of Journey to Mystery. Well, it's literally the same thing. They're not going to show anything now. Many months ago, Dr. Don Blake found an ancient cave, in a hidden cave. That must have been hidden here for centuries. And when the lame physician, they keep calling him lame. At this point, like, does that mean something different back in the '60s, or does Larry Lieber not like Dr. Don Blake? So, write a better story. Accidentally pound the cane against the ground. I am becoming Thor, the legendary thunder god, and the cane is turning into a giant hammer. It was an incredible myth come to life, and like in the myth, the mighty hammer could be lifted by Thor, and when it was hurled, it would always return to its master. Nothing could withstand the ancient hammer. Nothing. Aided by his powerful weapon, the god of thunder could even control the very elements themselves. By stepping the hammer twice, I've created a raging thunderstorm. Then beneath the watchful eye of Odin, master of the Norse gods and father of Thor, a vow was made. I carry with this hammer the greatest power ever known to mortal man, a power I shall never use, except in the case of justice and against the forces of evil. He never did that in the original comic. Get the fuck out of here. Thus was born the mighty Thor, but what of Don Blake, the secret counterpart of Thor? He is a successful physician, although somewhat less successful in another area. I love Jane, but I daren't tell her. The girl so beautiful would never marry a weakling like me. It's so dumb. As the poet Robert Burns once said, "Oh, for the gift the gifty gee us to see ourselves as others see us." Okay. I could care for him so deeply if only he would show some affection toward me. No, not him. He's too darn stuffy to ever be romantic. This dialogue's so shitty. I hate this comic. So thinking Don Blake has no romantic interest in her, his lovely nurse fills her lonely hours with daydreams. Oh, that Thor, what a man. I bet he knows a gal was right under his nose. And although he's big and strong, he'd love to look after him. He complained about me fussing, but I know that he'd secretly enjoy it. You needn't bother. Nonsense, your hammer will look more impressive polished. I'd be ashamed if my boss weren't seen in a public with a wrinkled cloak. I never gave it a thought before. You feel lots cooler during the summer if your hair's shorter. I feel better already. But let us leave Jane Foster to her daydreams and return to the present once more. Hey, isn't that thug Thatcher, the mob leader? Yeah, he tried to muscle in on the steel industry. They calmed things substandard steel, and now he's headed for prison. But the octopus of crime has many tentacles. Dr. Otto's coming back? Oh wait, he never debuted, but we're gonna see him? No, we're not. Uh, here comes the car. Get ready. Don't worry, we'll have the boss free in no time. It's Thatcher's mob. I knew my boys wouldn't let me down. Meanwhile, in Don Blake's office. That's the last patient. You may go home now, Jane. That noise outside sounds like gunfire. It is a gun battle, and the police seem to be outnumbered. If only Jane were here, I could change into Thor and go to action, but now it's impossible. We blew out their tires. They won't be able to follow us. Let's get back into the truck. Ah, my shoulder. Hurry, head for the hideout. The boss been hit. Good thing we stayed out of the action. We gotta fetch him a sawbones. We're in luck. Look, a doctor's right in this building. Moments later, the mobsters have escaped. It doesn't matter. The police will track them down. At any rate, there's nothing you or I can do about it. But Thor would have done plenty if you hadn't been here. He's an asshole. Suddenly, they're coming of us, Doc. Tie up the dame Vant. Stop, let me go. Dr. Blake, help me. Get a load of her, Max. She'll expect help from that skinny sawbone. Some chance. Want to save up the king, that's all I would take, but they'd learn my dual identity. I can't do it yet. Leaving Jane locked in the office, the gangsters drive Don Blake out of the city. Where are you taking me? To Sunday school. Soon they reach Thug Thatcher's hideout. We saw you get hit, boss. We brought a sawbone. Good, I knew I could count on you. Thug's in bad pain. You must fix him up, Doc, please. Knock it off, Ruby. I don't need my girl begging for me. I'll treat you, not because of your threats, but because it's my duty as a physician. Okay, Big Mouth, get to work. Hold that cane of yours, Doc. You'll need both your hands to take the slug out. My cane, but no time to worry about it now. I must remove the bullets and cleanse the wound before gangrene sets in. Hurry, Doctor. Relax, baby. Everything's gonna be fine. Finally, there, it's finished. Now all you have to worry about is the police. Well, they catch me, it's gonna be without your help. Take care of the good doctor, boys. No, Thug, you can't harm him. Not after he saved your life. You're wrong, Obi. I can't risk anyone schooling the cops. Through him, boss. I'll make sure he won't talk. My king thought I'm helpless. But wait, even though I have the body of Thor, I still have his brain! His thought process. If I concentrate intensely, perhaps I can establish mental contact with Odin. Desperately, the doomed doctor focuses his thoughts and sends his plea upward, beyond Earth, across the realm of bridge to the citadel of the Norse gods, where it's received by the all-powerful ruler of the Norse gods, the noble Odin. My son, the Lord of Thunder, is in danger. He calls for help. I must respond at once. Using his supreme power, Odin creates fire and lightning. I have but to fuse these elements within my body, transforming them into a force wave. Then the mighty Odin wills the force wave to Earth, where it strikes the human target, shocking him into dropping the cane as though it were a red-hot poker. Yow! Odin has heard my plea. I'm saved. Plus, I got my cane. All of a sudden, I felt a sudden shock. Hey, what's the doc doing? Striking the floor with all his might, the once puny doctor again undergoes the world's most awesome transformation. If I'm lucky, the flash will be too bright for them to see my change. What's happening? Look, it's Thor! Where'd the doc go? Gotta make up an excuse fast. Good thing I was passing by and saw the little scene. Tossed your 10 victim to safety, and now I'll deal with you. Apparently they don't know that he was him, because these guys in these comics are fucking idiots. As the mobsters draw their weapons, Thor thunders into action, as only he can. Look out! Help! Boss, stop him! Thug, it's useless. No one can defeat Thor. Yeah, we'll see about that. Get him, boys! Alright, strong man. We know you can dish it out. Now let's see how you take it. The gunmen are not destined to find out, for before they can fire, the mighty Thor exhales the power of a hurricane. Hey, stop, let me out of here. I can't see what's going on. I'll just tie you all in a nice cozy bundle and put you out there on the shelf. Man or legend, wherever that guy is, he's too much for us. What? They were inside, now he's outside, and now they're in a car. Like, what? Where's the... What? The continuity. I'm guessing that... I'm... Well, I'm gonna blame this on, the writing, I guess, because this is the first time this happened, and it makes more sense for this to be a mistake on Larry Lieber's part rather than Jack Kirby's part. Because he just basically just runs outside, I guess, and I guess, I don't know, off panel. Mayor Legend, wherever that guy is, he's too much for us. You ain't kidding. Let's head for the hills. If they think they can escape, they haven't reckoned with the enchanted hammer of Thor. The trees are blocking the road. We can't go forward. We can't go back either. The doors are jammed. We can't even get out of the car. We're trapped. By the excitement, two people have managed to escape. I shouldn't be helping you. I should have left you back there for the rest of the mob, but I couldn't. I love you too much. Yeah, and that's why you'll always stick by me no matter what. Now, be quiet. I gotta think. But Thor will catch up to you sooner or later, and then... Don't be too sure. I remember reading that Thor and that group Don Blake, Dr. Blake, always seemed to be the same place at about the same time. I figure there's some kind of bond between them, so if I take the Doc hostage, I may be able to keep his body off my back. Apparently he knew about this. Is that what he captured that Doc? Whatever. This doesn't make any sense. Minutes later, the mobsters are in custody. Nothing more for me to do here. I'll go back to my office and free Jane. Then I'll fly to track down the thug Thatcher. Finding one lone gangster shouldn't be too difficult for Thor. But when Thor the Thunder God reaches the office, too bad your puny boss ain't here. That means you'll have to be my hostage. I guess that's supposed to be Jane saying that, but it's not pointing to her. No, let me go. Look, it's Thor. Alright, big man, drop the hammer. I shoot. Go on, do what I say. I'm not fooling anyone. I can't let them harm Jane. That's it. From what I read, most of your power comes from that blamed hammer. Without it, you may not be so tough to handle. He sacrificed himself to save me, but why? He doesn't even know me. When the hammer is out of my hands for 60 seconds, I'll become Don Blake again. Attack before then while I'm still Thor. But what can I do? As the precious seconds tick rapidly away, an idea suddenly comes to Thor. Using super developed vocal cords, he throws his voice across the room. Uh, did I read that? I thought the human torch stories are bad. Drop the gun, Thatcher. We have you covered. That probably is something Thor could do. And as the startled monster turns around, who said that? His constant terrain on Jane is the moment to act. Guided unerringly by Thor's kick the hammer, knocks the gun from Thatcher's hand and returns to his master. The power of the hammer is again mine. He's reaching for the gun again. First thing I must do is get Jane to a safe place. And then God spins his magic mouth so fast that it creates a mighty updraft. Oh! Blast it, they're moving too fast. I can't get a beat on them. Do not be afraid, Jane. I couldn't be with you here. Holy Hannah, there's a woman floating in the air. And that cloaked figure flying up after her. It's Thor! There, you'll be safe now. Oh, Thor! How do you get you away from Thatcher? And this was the quickest way to do it. Nothing you can't do, Thor. Well, Thor's rescue operation has given the enraged monster a chance to flee once again. It's useless. Thor has seen us. He's coming after us again. He won't get me, not while I'm still packing a rod. Though you can't escape, come back. Give yourself up. Take your medicine. I'll wait for you. I swear it. Shut up, Ruby. Get lost. Please do for me. Stop. I love you. You dumb dame. You're nothing but a millstone around my neck. Look out, Ruby. Are you alright? Yes, he missed. The crazy fool. He might have hit the girl. Who is that man anyway? I recognize him from the newspapers. It's Thug Thatcher. Thatcher, the mobster? Yeah, he was muscling in on the steel industry, selling substandard steel. He escaped from the cops on the way to prison, but now his crime career has come to an end. I vow it. I guess it was Thor. Thor stamps his enchanted hammer on the ground 4 times and then aimed it upwards. The mallet is shooting out lightning bolts, hitting the cables of the elevator, melting them. Errors note when Thor's hammer is pounding 4 times and produces lightning. You won't find safety in the grinders, Thatcher. I can melt them, too. You better surrender while you still can. You can't scare me, Thor. Alright then, we'll do it the hard way. He's hitting the grinders with this lightning. They're beginning to melt. But suddenly the fugitive sees rivets. They're red hot. That's my out. I'm going to win after all. Ha ha ha. Thor, hear me. This is a bucket filled with hot rivets. Unless you let me go free and keep me safe from the cops, I'll dump him on the crowd. He means it. Let's get out of here. No, if he sees us run, he'll drop the rivets. He can never get away in time. I can't let him escape, but I can't allow those innocent people to be harmed. What will I? Wait, I see it. That's the answer. Alright, Thatcher, I promise not to try to capture you. I've won. I'm free. What's happening? The glider. Oh, no, no, it's collapsing. I'm falling. Yay. I vow not to try to capture you. I made them to save you. And thus does the career in violence come to its end. Hold him, don't let him fall, don't let him fly. I still love him, Sob. I can't help myself. Don't worry, lady. Thor's got him. But a crumb like that sure doesn't deserve anyone as loyal as you. Thor saved his life, but he'll be spending most of it behind bars. The reason I promised not to try to capture him was that I saw the writer. He still knows a faulty one, and that the heat of lightning had weakened it. Okay, he didn't need to keep his promise. Like, who the fuck cares? He's a fucking criminal. Jackass. It's not like he has a no lying policy, Thor. I don't think he does. Faulty steel is probably the very stuff that Thatcher himself was forcing companies to buy. So ironically, he caused his own capture. Then Thor lifts his gaze upward, suddenly asking Odin, Lord of Asgard, for one more boon. An instant at what mortals call time, their request is granted. Maria Thatcher is forever moved from her mind. She is free of her tragic love, free to be find one who will be worthy of her. What? I saw the panel like, what the hell are they going to do what I think they're going to do? Yeah, they did. So this girl likes the guy for some reason, and Thor's like, yeah, let's just erase it from her mind. You guys can tell me in the comments if that is okay or is that completely shady as fuck. I'm guessing it's kind of fucked up, but I don't know. As for me, my work here is finished. I must return to my other life, to the girl who holds my heart, although I never dared admit it. Next to you, Thor battles a foe whose power seems to be greater than those of the Thunder God himself. Don't miss Thor as he faces the Carbon Copy Man. Oh, there's the Carbon Copy Man. Who cares? Next issue, I think it's Human Torch, so yay. Thank you for watching.